In these problems, we're finding solutions to quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. Sometimes a quadratic doesn't lend itself to factoring, you can't use the square root rule, so you have to use the quadratic formula, which is very handy to know. And remember, the quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And a is going to be, well, once you set this equation to 0, let's do that first. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. And I have 3x squared minus 5x minus 1. So the a is the coefficient of the x squared term, b is the coefficient of the x term, and c is the number term. So let's go ahead and plug this in. A negative b, well, negative 5 is our b, so that's actually going to be a positive 5. And then plus or minus the square root of b squared would be 25 minus 4ac. Well, 4 times 3 is 12 times a negative 1 would be negative 12 minus a negative 12 is actually plus 12. And all of that is over 2a, or 6. So we've got 5 plus or minus the square root of 37 over 6. And probably we can just leave it in that form for these problems. Let's try one more. This one says find the values of x, and they would like us to do it with the quadratic formula. And we've just got fx squared plus gx plus h equals 0. So it's already set equal to 0, and we have letters here instead of our normal numbers for our coefficients. But that shouldn't stop us. We can just use the quadratic formula, which starts negative b. Well, b is g, so I'm going to say negative g plus or minus the square root of b squared would be g squared minus 4ac, so that would be 4 times f times h all over 2a, which is going to be 2f. So we're really just plugging in f, g, and h for a, b, and c. And that's as far as we can take this one. We can't simplify that anymore. So that's a little refresher on using the quadratic formula.